Good evening. We call tonight's meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Barkley.
Here.
Walters. Varden.
Here.
Ewert.
Here.
Benner.
Here.
Parton.
Here.
Crum.
Here.
Thompson.
Here.
Thank you. Tonight's invocation will be given by Jennifer Jones, Haysville United Methodist Church.
Let us pray. Lord, we do thank you. We thank you for all that you have done for us and all that you have given us. And we even thank you for a Chiefs win. And we ask, Lord, that you would help us to be the community that you have called us to be. And we pray this in your Son's name. Amen.
Amen. Please join me in the pledge of allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, next we have presentation and approval of minutes. Minutes of January 9th, 2023. Councilman Benner.
I make a motion, we approve the minutes of the January 9, 2023 business meeting.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the minutes of January 9th, 2023. Is there any discussion? Question, please.
Barkley.
Abstain.
Varden.
Yes.
Ewert.
Abstain.
Benner.
Yes.
Parton.
Yes.
Crum.
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Thank you. Next, we have item 1, citizens to be heard. Tim Macy, you requested to talk to us tonight.
I'm excited to get up here and say something. About 2 weeks ago, I got a call from a chamber member who had talked to 2 restaurants in town, and they were having problems with their grease. I just came to say how professional Tony and Will were in taking the time to go and talk to those people, and they came out of there with the most highly regarded for you 2 guys. I don't know who else might have been involved, but in my job, sometimes I hear the negatives about, and I wanted you guys to know the positive that came out of it. That's all I had.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. Good job.
There you go, guys.
It's always good to hear nice things.
It is.
All right, next we have item 2, approval of license and bonds. We have none. Item 3, introduction of ordinances and resolutions. We have A, an ordinance amending and restating Chapter 16A, the zoning regulations of the city of Haysville, Kansas, and amending the official zoning map or maps of the city to reflect such amendments, all pursuant to the zoning regulations of the city.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Most of the zoning revision is cleaning up outdated regulations, so I'm just going to cover the major changes that it includes. We changed the district names so they're easier to understand and removed districts that were not being used. We moved all of Article 5 to Appendix. This just makes it easier for changes. Every changes still have to go through Planning Commission and Council, though. We removed the Broadway Corridor Plan. The corridor plan was adopted but never applied. We added an administrative adjustment. Of the last 6 variances, 5 of them would have qualified for an adjustment. 5 area cities allow adjustments. The language was based off those, which were all similar. So I can answer any questions you might have on anything else that's in the changes.
Any questions from council?
I did try to send this out early so everybody had time to look it over.
Councilman Crum?
I don't have any questions. If nobody else does, I'll go ahead and make a motion that we approve this ordinance amending and restating Chapter 16A as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the ordinance as presented. Is there any discussion? Question, please.
Barkley.
Yes.
Walters. Varden.
Yes.
Ewert.
Yes.
Benner.
Yes.
Parton.
Yes.
Crum.
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, next we have item 4, notices and communications. A, governing body announcements. Councilman Crum?
Stuff coming up at the library on the 14th. So tomorrow, Valentine's Day, you could go to the County Commissioner Lopez's Citizen Advisory meeting at 6 p.m. Then on the 15th, you have the Lego Club will be meeting at 4. On the 16th, and again on the 23rd, you've got the 10 a.m. Parents as Teachers Story Time and the 11 o'clock Parents as Teachers Toddler Time. On the 18th, from 11 to 2, the Friends will have a booth at the Senior Center for the cook-off and the craft fair. They do want to know on February 20th, which is President's Day, the library will be open on that day. They're not going to close on that day. Also on the 23rd will be the next Friends of the Library board meeting at 5:30 and then a library board meeting at 7. Reminder, the quilters meet in the community room on Monday afternoons, and the knitting and crochet group meet on Tuesday afternoons. Then also wanted to mention that coming up on February, I think I have these dates memorized, February 24th through the 26th, we'll be having the Swim to a Wish event at Campus High School. There are 4 schools. This is a fundraiser for Make-A-Wish. This will be the 11th year we've done it. It started here at campus, and this year Derby will be joining us. It'll be their 9th year, and then Salina South and Salina Central will be swimming their miles in Salina over that weekend. And I said this is our 11th year, and in the 10 previous years, we've this event has raised about $300,000 for Make-A-Wish. So it's actually their largest independently run fundraiser in the state. So we always get great backing from the businesses here in town, and also from alumni at the high school, and just the citizens do a great job of supporting our young swimmers. For those of you that don't know what it is, we have 5 swimmers from the Campus High School boys team that will swim 20 miles each, and they do it relay style. It'll start Friday afternoon about 4:30 in the afternoon, and we'll get done swimming Sunday sometime around noon probably. So it's a very long weekend for the boys, but it's for a great cause.
All right, thank you. Councilman Thompson?
Yes, I'd like to announce that Haysville has a new citizen. My grandson Theodore was born January 14th, 9 pounds, to my daughter Shelley and Emmett George.
Being a grandparent's the best. Any other announcements? I have several. First one's from the senior center. Some upcoming events. The blood pressure checks will be Tuesday, tomorrow, 9:45 a.m. Ice cream floats also tomorrow, Tuesday, February 14th at 12:30 p.m. Movie outing Friday, February 17th from 12:30 p.m. to 3 p.m. Chili cook-off and craft fair. It's open to the public. That is this coming Saturday, the 18th at 11 a.m. until 2 p.m. Internet 101 class will be Tuesday, February 21st at 2 p.m. Monthly breakfast Saturday, 25th at 10 a.m. Self-defense class Saturday, 25th at 12 p.m. Center and Hustle will be closed on February 20th. Some recurring programs at the senior center. They have Domino's, donuts, coffee, conversation, chair yoga, billiards, bingo, steps, bunco, cards, drumming, well rep, tai chi, and crafting club. Some of the hustle numbers from January of 2022, one-way riders, there were 280 with 6 new registered riders. And this January there were 260 one-way riders with 7 new riders. So just to let you know, I went to the Valentine's dinner and dance last weekend, and last Friday I think it was, and it was really good. It was really put on well, and the staff over there does a really great job decorating. So I would just encourage you, if you are 55 or older, to join the senior center. They have a lot of things going on over there.
I heard there was like 70 people at that.
The other, it was a lot of
It was
people.
well attended.
Yeah. Everybody I talked to there really liked it. They enjoyed it. Next I have, there's a second annual Mayor's Prayer Breakfast coming up. This is sponsored by the Haysville Ministerial Association. This is at 7 a.m. on Thursday, May 4th. It's at the Haysville Activity Center. The meal will be catered by Breakfast at Pasadena. The tickets are $10 each, and they can be purchased at First Christian Church, Haysville Christian Church, Haysville United Methodist Church, Resurrection Lutheran Church, West Haysville Baptist Church, and City Hall. So, hope to see you there. About 2.5 weeks ago, I went to Topeka, part of the local government day. So that's where elected leaders can go up to Topeka and talk to their legislatures, and they have things going on. So I visited with ours that represent Haysville, along with several others. I also attended the Mayor's Association lunch. If you didn't know, I was elected to the board of directors for the Kansas Mayor's Association, representing South Central Kansas. There's 18 counties in this region. Also attended the municipal policy review, and Lieutenant Governor David Toland also spoke about economic development, so he had a lot of interesting things to say. He's pretty smart man. Some of the projects going on in town, you may already know about Coppertail Edition. Construction on the infrastructure started last week. It's just down Grand there. That's where the 16 duplexes and 17 quadplexes are going in with light commercial in front. Meridian Sidewalk, the design and permitting process is nearing the completion. So the project is expected to be advertised this month for bids, and they'll be considered during our next council meeting in March. And the North Main Seneca 63rd Street to the Maple Sidewalk, the design is progressing well. We are working with Union Pacific on the railroad crossing. Of course, that takes time. The project is scheduled to be bid in July. So all things going on right now. So. All right, next we have item 4, notices, or let's see, item B, Sedgwick County Fire Department, Station 34, monthly report. I don't believe they're in the audience today. Next we have C, memo, new business. D, memo for regarding federal forfeiture funds report. If you have any questions, just let me know. E, email from Cost Communications. All right, next we have item 5, old business. We have none. Item 6, other business. A, consideration of Equine Park addition preliminary and final plats. Jonathan?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. On January 12th, the Planning Commission reviewed the plat for the Equine Park addition to Sedgwick County. This property is located at 7000 West 79th Street and Ridge Road, and it falls under our subdivision regulations. The Planning Commission is recommending approval provided they adhere to the Sedgwick County Access Control Policy. The Planning Commission is also requesting the Board of County Commissioners to consider allowing the access along 79th Street as the property owner has requested. The staff report is in your packet for your review. This is not before you for your consideration. And the owner and the surveyor working on the plat are both here as well.
Okay, thank you. Guys all have time to review this? Councilman Crum?
So this is just under our area of influence, right? Basically.
Correct.
Okay. I'll go ahead and make a motion that we approve the Equine Park addition preliminary and final plats as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the Equine Park addition preliminary and final plans as presented. Is there any discussion? Councilperson Parton?
Along with the Sedgwick County access controls, and recommend that they look at the second.
Yeah, I guess
Okay.
that was in the stuff, wasn't it? So that's presented, so yeah.
Right. Any further discussion? Question, please.
Barkley,
Yes.
Gordon,
Yes.
Ewart,
Yes.
Benner,
Yes.
Parton,
Yes.
Crum,
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Thank you. Next we have item B, discussion of the trash franchise RFP requirements. Do we have a chance to review those? And if so, is there are there any items that you would like to see added in there?
Are we gonna just stick with the big bulky item pickup, or are we gonna try and see citywide cleanup?
Well, the citywide cleanup is normally done by the city in cooperation with the trash
Right.
service.
Right. But there's a lot of people who would like us to go back to that because they don't have the way to take stuff to the trash dump.
Good. And we can add something.
I'd like to see that.
Councilman Warren?
Well, one of the things looking at this, and I'm kind of for this, but one of the things that I was looking at, and I guess I had a question on, is if we go to one of these, whichever trash service is coming here, is it gonna be a mandatory that we have to have a recycle like Derby did?
I believe, let's see, what did it say?
And that's why I just think it has to be offered.
Offered, right.
Okay, well, that's what it came up before Derby too, and then when it all came in, then it was passed that it was mandatory that everybody had to, do recycling at an additional $6 a month.
I believe the way they did theirs was they were, as you say, they made it mandatory.
Right.
And you could opt out, but, the funds were the same. I mean, the price was the same whether you opted out or not. That's the way Derby did theirs.
So I think most of the single trash company cities have recycling as part of it.
As an option.
No, part of it.
The Derby, for a long time, it was mandatory, you had to have recycling.
Because I was thinking the ones that they showed us, Derby was the only one that was, you mandatorily paid for it. I think all the rest of them, it was just an option.
Yeah, it was mandatory that you had to take recycling, and you was charged an additional $6 a month for it.
Right, and you could, correct, and they could opt out if they wanted to, but they still had to pay the
Six,
price.
yeah.
In ours, it's just, we're asking that it, be given as an option.
Okay.
Council Crum?
That was the only thing I was gonna talk about was the citywide cleanup, because I know some of the other ones, the ones you showed us, they had some deals on some of those, and so that'd be the only thing I'd like to see added to it.
Okay.
So,
Do you need a motion on this? Okay. All right, so we'll, there's no further discussion. We'll go and, submit the, RFP.
we don't need a motion for that, or do we?
No.
So
It'll come back once it goes
Okay.
out and, we,
So we
receive the
won't-
information.
We won't know who it is yet.
Right, not until we send this out. We get, people to respond, the services to respond.
Do we know what kind of timeline we're gonna give them
To respond?
Yeah.
Or to start?
to respond?
I'd be open for council discussion on when you would want to see the single service provider implemented in town, and then we could work backwards. That, or you can tell us to do it as quick as possible. We can come up with a good time frame that we think we can talk to the trash companies, see how long they need to put something together and make that time frame for the proposals. And also, other cities, when they put theirs out, they went ahead and had a time where the trash company would let the city know that they had an intent to apply, and then they'd also have a meeting where they could have anybody that wanted to, any of the potential providers come in, and so they'd all sit in the same room, they'd ask the questions, they'd get the same answers from the city, and then we could put out an addendum if necessary to the RFP, if any questions that got asked and answered changed what was in the RFP. So we can put all that together in a timeline, and if you want, we can put the entire RFP together with timeline and bring it back for next council meeting.
So like if we said we would like to have them be able to start on July 1st, you can work back from that, or would that be way too fast?
I think that'd be too fast.
I'm thinking the 1st of January.
That's what I was thinking.
With a 3-month period in there, because you're gonna have some people who have already paid for, you got a 3-month period to get switched over to it.
Buffer zone.
Yeah.
So, because in that 3 months, everybody's gonna have usually gonna have their bills come up unless they pay for a year. But,
Yeah, you're supposed to pay every 3 months, so, but
well,
some do pay for a year.
yeah, some pay for a year, cause you get a month free then, but, and the other thing I was just thinking about was, some of the trash companies have cart pickup fees. If somehow, is how they're gonna,
They aren't gonna pick up your trash can.
I mean, your correct trash cart.
Well, your current.
Yeah, your
trash
current,
service.
Your current.
charges you, some of them charge you to have your trash cart picked up.
Exactly.
If we could work something in there, since this new company would stand to make some money, that they would credit if they had to have, pay to have a trash cart picked up.
Yeah, 'cause we could ask for whatever we want.
That's what, that's what I'm saying.
and they'll
Just
come
throw
back
that
with-
in there.
right.
Yeah, they're
Well, then what if we
$80.
said, let's try to have them start by January 1st of '24, and then you guys could, next meeting, could come back with us and show us what that timeline would look like? Does that sound?
Mhm. Yes.
Should we put that in motion?
No, we don't need it.
Just, okay.
Okay, any further discussion? If not, we'll move on to item C, consideration of supplemental agreement with PEC regarding the Seneca and 63rd Street multi-use path. Councilman Crum?
Tony, actually, I just may have a question for you, and you may not be able to answer because I know you don't work for PEC. What kind of stuff do they gotta do on a railroad track crossing like that?
Oh, you don't even wanna know.
Besides expensive?
Yeah, so UP is very particular on the way they want things to respect. So we're almost building that whole rail crossing brand new for them, is basically what we're doing. So Will and I met with them a few months ago, and they detailed that plan for us, and PC was there as well. So this scope pays for that work that they now know what it is.
You didn't ask them if they just wanted to build another bridge over there, like you just drive under it?
No.
As long as you don't leave railroad spikes sticking up, that'll be fine. Because they rebuilt it and did.
Okay, I was just curious, because I know railroads kind of racket, but I didn't say that out loud.
Somebody like to make a motion to approve the consideration?
I make a motion we approve the consideration of the PEC.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the supplemental agreement with PEC regarding the Seneca and 63rd Street multi-use path. Is there any discussion? Question, please.
Barkley,
Yes.
Rarden,
Yes.
Ewer,
Yes.
Benner,
Yes.
Barton,
Yes.
Crum,
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
All right, next item D, consideration of digital sign replacement at Main and Grand. I'm sure you've noticed the sign is out over there on the corner.
Why is there such a difference?
Daktronics is not local, so they have to basically contract with someone else to install it, for one. And then LEDs, it's because it goes from 9.5 to 8 mm, so, yeah. We just don't really feel it's worth paying the additional fee for that much. The new 2 signs that were installed at the library and the senior center would be the same. So.
Councilperson Barton?
Make a motion, we accept the bid from Wichita Sign Company for $28,121.15.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the digital sign replacement as presented. Is there any discussion? Question, please.
Barkley,
Yes.
Rarden,
Yes.
Ewer,
Yes.
Benner,
Yes.
Barton,
Yes.
Crum,
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Next, item E, consideration of purchase of Plagens Carpenter playground equipment. That is in your packet with a picture of the playground. I don't know if you've been over there lately, but it definitely needs to be replaced over there.
Are we gonna get rid of the stickers?
Councilman Benner?
Does the Cunningham Recreation bid include the concrete? That I noticed on the Fry and Associates, it's separated out. Well, I guess on all of them.
Yes, it does.
It does include it.
Mhm. Well, it's separated out because on Fry and Associates, the first one doesn't include the concrete border. The second one is with the concrete. They don't have a sub in-house to do it, so they have to go outside to do it. And then ADCO, same thing. They would have to sub out with somebody else.
Councilman Crowe?
This all coming out of Park Board.
Yes, it will be split between
My
special park
question-
improvement and park sales tax.
But then you say down here 99,400 for the playground equipment, border and everything, so,
That includes the third piece that wasn't in the original.
Yeah, so originally I presented 3 designs to them. They picked the Cunningham Recreation, they wanted that one, but there was 2 different designs from them. They wanted to add a third piece from the other one. They wanted to add it to those 3 features, not just 2. So Cunningham Recreation had the lowest one. I went back with them and they added in the third piece. The park board approved up to $100,000 to be spent to accomplish this.
okay.
Because of additional square footage for wood fiber and then the concrete and insulation.
Councilman Crowe?
I'll make a motion that we approve the bid from Cunningham Recreation for $99,400 for the Plagens Carpenter Playground as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the purchase of the Plagens Carpenter Playground equipment as presented. Is there any discussion? Question, please.
Barkley,
Yes.
Martin,
Yes.
Ewert,
Yes.
Benner,
Yes.
Parton,
Yes,
Crum,
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
All right, next we have F, consideration of revised agreement with Sedgwick County regarding the Civic Ready notification. Chief?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. We came to you last month with the Civic Ready agreement with Sedgwick County to take over the mass notification system that we'd be replacing our current Nixle system with. After that was approved and we had the mayor sign it, there has been a change to that agreement. So we wanted to bring it back through to make sure that you guys were okay with the change. Basically, the change on there, they've been testing it and they have moved the only change to it was they moved the boil water advisory from section 6B to section 6A, and it's now the responsibility of the city rather than the county, which in our case works better because we have our own water supply, and to have control over that's probably better anyways. So at this point, we're just asking for your blessing to go ahead and sign the agreement again with that change.
Councilperson Barton?
make a motion to accept the changes on the Civic Ready agreement.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the revised agreement with Sedgwick County regarding the Civic Ready notification system. Is there any discussion? Question, please.
Barkley,
Yes.
Martin,
Yes.
Ewert,
Yes.
Benner,
Yes.
Parton,
Yes,
Crum,
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have item G, consideration of erosion controls bid. Tony?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. At the December 13th, 2021 council meeting, you approved an agreement with PEC to design the corrosion control building for the water plant. This project is a KDHE requirement and stemmed from exceeding copper levels. The design details treating city water with an orthophosphate. We had the bid opening on January 23rd of this year. Donglier and Sons Construction Company was the only bidder. I've included a letter from PEC detailing the reason why the one bidder and the labor market in the area. I'm asking you to approve the bid from Donglier and Sons Construction Company in the amount of $244,000. And I stand for any questions you may have.
Councilman Crum?
I hate it when that stuff comes in above engineers' estimates, and I know it doesn't happen that often. Are we starting to see that more often, or are other cities seeing that more often?
Oh yeah, absolutely. We did a water line lowering that we had, kind of in-house engineer's estimate with PEC was 25 grand, and I think our lowest so far was 53,000. The labor market, equipment, we actually are hearing from PEC, some cities are actually having their advertisement open longer than normal, just to be more attractive to contractors. We had an in-house repair on our wastewater treatment plant, and actually we had to, I don't want to say beg, but almost beg a contractor if we gave them up to 6 months to complete the work. So yes, it's more and more every day.
Is PEC gonna start maybe having that show up more in their estimates then, maybe start? Because I know that's a big deal when you're taking something that's actually over the estimate.
Yeah, I think the difficult part is just trying to put a finger on where that pulse is every day.
If there's no other discussion, I'll go ahead and make a motion that we approve the bid from Dollinger Construction for $244,000 as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the erosion control bid as presented. Is there any discussion? Question, please.
Barkley,
Yes.
Varden,
Yes.
Ewert,
Yes.
Benner,
Yes.
Parton,
Yes.
Crum,
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Thank you. Next, we have item H, consideration of agreement with We Entertainment regarding the Fall Festival.
So we received a contract agreement from We Entertainment to provide carnival rides, games, and concessions for the Fall Fest. This contract will extend through the 2025 festival. The city will receive 10% of sales from ride tickets, wristbands, $15 for each booth the game operated, and $500 for concession. We Entertainment agrees to pay any damages they may do to curb or sidewalk. I'm asking you to approve the contract with We Entertainment, and legal has reviewed the agreement.
Councilperson Martin?
Before I make the motion, just so everybody knows, We Entertainment bought part of Ottaway Carnival.
Right.
So it's still the same stuff, it's just different company.
Just different.
And this is pretty much what the festival had going on in previous contracts. So,
Yeah, we were lucky that past Fall Fest committees contracted with Carnival and We and Ottaway for multiple years. There are several Fall Fests around town that actually didn't have a carnival last year because there's few and far between when it comes to carnival operators.
well, that's because Goddard changed our weekend and we already had them.
I've heard the same thing from other mayors also, as far as, they're having a hard time finding, entertainment like this.
Yeah. I make a motion, we accept the contract for We Entertainment.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to accept the agreement with We Entertainment. Any discussion? Question, please.
Barkley,
Yes.
Varden,
Yes.
Ewert,
Yes.
Benner,
Yes.
Parton,
Yes.
Crum,
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes. Thank you.
Next, we have item I, consideration of agreement with Haysville Swim Club. Rob?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Before you have presented the contract with the Haysville Swim Club. This is the same contract we had in previous years with changes for start and end dates and swimming.
Make a motion that we approve the agreement with Haysville Swim Club.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the agreement with the Haysville Swim Club as presented. Any discussion? Question, please.
Barkley,
Yes.
Varden,
Yes.
Ewert,
Yes.
Benner,
Yes.
Parton,
Yes.
Crum,
Abstain.
Thompson.
Yes.
Next, we have item J, consideration of pool pricing for the 2023 season.
Before you, I presented the pool pricing sheet for the 2023 season. Due to operational and staffing expenses, we've made a $5 increase to season passes, and along with a $5 increase to swim lessons. One other change noted will be the increase on pool rentals. It's a $25 increase that they will pay. They will still pay the $200, which we have reduced the amount of the deposit. So they're not paying any more for rentals, just getting less back. I stand for any questions.
Councilman Crum?
I make a motion that we approve the consideration of pool pricing for the 2023 season.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the pool pricing for the 2023 season. Is there any discussion? Question, please.
Barkley,
Yes.
Varden,
Yes.
Ewert,
Yes.
Benner,
Yes.
Parton,
Yes.
Crum,
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
All right, next we have item 7, department reports. A, administrative services. Georgie?
The mayor already announced it, but I just want to remind everybody, the third annual chili cook-off and craft fair is at the senior center. It's from 11 to 2. They will have some baked goods and some other items, so if you can make it over, that would be great. And then once again, the city will have a booth at the Home and Garden Show at Century 2, March 2nd through the 5th. It's Thursday through Sunday. Hours are 1 to 7 on Thursday, 10 to 7 Friday and Saturday, and 10 to 4 on Sunday. That's all I have.
Thank you. Next we have city clerk. Angie?
And just throw in there, Danielle did send out the sign-up sheet for that if you haven't signed up yet.
The city offices will be closed February 20th for President's Day. If there are any water emergencies, please call 529-5912. Also, I'd like to introduce Trish here, who is the Administrative Secretary for the City Clerk's Department. Thank you.
Hi, Trish.
Hello, Trish. Next, we have item C, police, chief.
Good evening again, Mayor and Council. The only thing I have tonight is our visiting officer is Lieutenant Malcolm Young. He's currently assigned to the patrol section as the patrol section supervisor. So say hi to him as you go by out there. That's all I've got. Thanks.
Thank you. Next, we have public works, Tony.
Here's a picture of the before-mentioned Coppertail development over by Jane and Grand. They started February 6th with some mass site grading. That's what they're continuing to work on. Also, the Wired Hungerford water line project had completed. The only thing we have left to do is a final walkthrough and punch list items, so it was a good project.
I have a question on that. Are you gonna clean the streets?
Yes.
Come up.
Yes, second time I've been asked today.
Thank you. Next, we have item E, recreation, Rob.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Our youth soccer registration deadline is this Friday, February 17th. The Polar Plunge will be on Saturday in Ridge Park. We're still taking registrations if you want to jump. Mothers on Nerf Wars will be on February 25th. Youth baseball, softball registration deadline is on March 3rd. Daddy-Daughter Date Night is on March 4th, and our Shamrock Shuffle 5K is on March 11th. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have item 8, appointments. We have none. Item 9, off-agenda citizens to be heard. Are there any citizens that would like to speak? So come on up and please state your name and your address for the record.
My name is Jacob Brashears. I actually don't live in town, but I'm one of the contractors that may be considered for the waste program. I just wanted to introduce myself. I left a stack of business cards up here for you guys. In my experience, been doing this for 10 years or so now. It takes a village when you guys convert over to stuff like this, or even if you were to switch providers. I got a lot of experience in that area, so if you guys need anything, I mean, from Public Works to everybody put it together, all of council, you guys are usually bombarded by your residents. So I'd be more than willing to help, through this process, even if we're not chosen, at the end of the day, but just to help you guys as much as possible and kind of anything that you need help ironing out or questions about that maybe you should consider or not. So I just want to throw that out there and really appreciate you guys' time. Thank you.
Thanks. Is there anybody else that would like to speak? All right, moving along. Next is item 10, executive session. We have none scheduled. Item 11, review of expenditures. A, summary of January expenditures. Councilperson Haber.
Yes, I'd like to move to receive and file the January expenditures.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to review and file the January expenditures. Any discussion? Question, please.
Barkley?
Yes.
Harden?
Yes.
Ewert?
Yes.
Benner?
Yes.
Parton?
Yes.
Crum?
Yes.
Thompson?
Yes.
Thank you. Next, we have item 12. You can see there are several items in the consent agenda. If there's a particular item that you would like to talk about, please ask for that item to be taken out. Otherwise, I would entertain a motion to approve items A through L. Councilperson Parton.
Make a motion, we approve items A through L.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda, items A through L. Is there any discussion? Question, please.
Barkley?
Yes.
Harden?
Yes.
Ewert?
Yes.
Benner?
Yes.
Parton?
Yes.
Crum?
Yes.
Thompson?
Yes.
Next, we have item 13, council items. A, council concerns. Councilman Martin.
I just had a question. On our agenda tonight, we came up with, you made the deal about the sidewalk on Seneca and Meridian, and where are we at on Broadway?
There's a KDOT cost share program is opening up, I believe next week. And then we'll be submitting that again for the KDOT cost share program.
Mayor, there was also the CDBG program we attended. So
Okay.
we're also looking at that avenue, and we're actually gonna talk to the state about a potential benefit district, or what they see as the benefit district, to see if it qualifies under their LMI requirements. So looking at additional funding sources, because you never know.
Oh, yeah.
Never know on the cost share, so keep looking for other ones.
I agree. Yeah, that's good.
Thank you. Any other concerns, council? If not, we'll move on to item B, council action request updates.
So update for 7050 Plaza, the property is still not in compliance. The property owner was fine, and they have a compliance check of March 14th. 7106 South Broadway, review of the property found the owner was not in compliance. Trial is set for tentatively tomorrow. And then the 300 Cane Drive that Chief is working on, the repair of vehicles is likely covered under Chapter 11. The issue with the salt vibrator and loader are not as clear, so they're going to check with Josh on that. And once we find out, the citizen could do a long-form complaint over at the police department to bring it into court. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have item 14, adjournment.
I'm gonna make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Got a motion and a second to adjourn tonight's meeting. Any discussion? Question, please.
Barkley?
Yes.
Martin?
Yes.
Hebert?
Yes.
Benner?
Yes.
Barton?
Yes.
Crum?
Go Chiefs. I mean, yes.
Thompson?
Thank you.
Sure.